lane when I pass in the street. Bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flame.
We are good to go. And we are back in the flow. How do you like that?
He thinks he's a rapper.
Hi. All right.
I got bars.
Spit a few bars.
I got some bars.
Yeah, he spit a few bars before.
And I'm sure there are people out at the bars today.
Yeah.
Because it's a international holiday. It's St. Patrick's Day. Did you know that?
I did not
That's
know
why
it's
you're wearing
inter-
green, Jay.
No, this was on accident.
No. Are you? What are you
Was on
drinking?
purpose.
What's in that bottle of?
H-
Is that water?
H2O,
I don't believe
H2O,
that.
buddy.
I don't know about that.
This is not H2O.
That is definitely not H2O. That because I provided that. We are having a little something today, but we are back with another episode of We're Not Famous with Sam and Jernavis.
Episode
38.
38. And we
3
have a
plus 8
special
equals 11.
guest today.
Very special guest. He took the train all the way up from the 305, all the way up from Miami to come
Beautiful
see
city.
us. The gorgeous city of Miami. And he's here in Palm Beach sitting down with us. He is the CEO and the founder of the brand Live on the Legacy.
Yes, sir.
He comes from a long line of some of the best boxers in the world.
Ray Boom Boom Mancini, WBA lightweight champion,
Yes,
Hall of Famer also.
Yes, sir.
He was one of the pioneers of reality TV.
Grandfather, we got to show him some love, right?
man.
Lenny Boom Boom,
Original Boom Boom.
original.
Yes, sir.
He invented the Boom Boom Room.
And let's also give him credit because you're also a creative director. I want to get into that.
Well, we're going to learn about this guy
Absolutely.
over the next hour and change.
Let's show some
But today
love
we
to
have Ray Mancini Jr.
Yes,
Ray
thank you.
Mancini.
Thanks for coming up and
Jr.
hanging out with us.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. No, definitely a pleasure of mine. Thank you.
So, Ray, we like to start off our show with learning the backstory, learning a little bit like who were you as a kid growing up in a professional boxer's household?
Well, one,
Yeah.
I mean, one, it's a blessing. Very fortunate. Growing up in Los Angeles, my father, great father. I didn't know who he really was until obviously later on, when I think people who I admired were like kind of like hyped to meet him. You know what I'm saying? So like it was that was kind of crazy. So then
Who's someone like that?
Like Robert Ory was like someone like that. Magic Johnson was like a good friend. I remember meeting Daryl Dawkins as a kid and was like, you know what I'm saying? Like all these, yeah.
These are all Jay's.
Yeah, but I
idols.
remember meeting Joe Frazier as a kid, and that was like my dad's good friend, Ken Norton. Just like guys, I was just like peers of my father, and I didn't really understand it till because a lot of kids would come up to you like, "Oh, your dad's the famous boxer." I'm like, "Yeah," and people were like say things, but then when you actually like see it from others that were, at that level, or like I was in love with basketball, so basketball players that were playing back in the 80s or knew of my dad and saying what's up to him, that's when I was like, who are you? You know what I mean? But growing up in that household, it was a loving household. It was my mom being from Miami, Cuban mother.
Okay.
And but my dad's a blue collar guy too. So it was just because I grew up in LA was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. We had to learn hard work. We had to learn to do things on our own. And just, it was a very, there was tough love, but it was overall love in the house.
Where in LA did you live?
Like Santa Monica, Venice. So I grew up in Mar Vista.
What high school did you go to?
Santa Monica High School. So that's where like
Not Pally.
No, Santa Monica High.
Santa Monica High.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where like Charlie Sheen, Robert Lowe, all those like the famous actors went over there.
And you played sports?
Played football and basketball. I played football for a year, but then I just stuck to basketball. Basketball was my love. I mean, I'm 5'9",
Gotcha.
but I was gritty. I was hard worker. It was more like heart over height for me. I was trying to pursue basketball for college. I had like one D3 look.
Oh,
But my grades weren't there.
Yeah,
Because the school was a Occidental college, and my mom.
I got into Occidental.
You did?
To play football. Yeah.
Okay. So you and
Obama, you know, went there. Obama went to Occidental. Yeah. I didn't go to Occidental. I went to like the Occidental, the East Coast, which is called Muhlenberg College. Same type of small school, but I spent the night over at Occidental.
Okay.
I was doing the whole recruiter thing. Yeah.
Sick. No, yeah, my mom, like, they wanted me bad, but like you said, Obama went there, so it was a prestigious school, and my mom was dying for me to go because my mom's an educator, and so I didn't get in though, and so I kind of just went to school for my mom mostly. I went to Colorado State University, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that my mom really wanted one of her kids to get a degree. So I mainly went to school for my mom. Luckily, they had a fashion program. So I studied fashion. I was apparel merchandising major.
Wow.
And then I started just wanting to be more creative.
Got it.
But
Ray, before we even get there to college, I want to even learn a little bit about, growing up, siblings at all?
Yeah, older brother, older sister.
Okay.
So a lot of butting the heads so they're 1 year apart. I'm pretty much 6 years from my sister and 4.5 with my brother.
Does the dad make you learn how to fight?
So my father was always like my dad's quote always, because the story of my father, why he fought, was that my grandfather Lenny was a #1 contender in the 30s. He then got drafted in World War II. So then he couldn't. I actually have a crazy photo that I found of my dad. It's my father. It's my grandfather. This is World War II photo. My grandfather in the front row, and 2 black trainers, Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson in the back. Wow. So like the boxing's just in my blood. Like, you know what I mean? Like that history's that legacy is within me. So sorry, going back. So then so my grandfather got drafted. He then, got in. Well, he was out on the front lines, got injured. There was I think my father tells me where a bomb blew off. He covered one of his guys and shrapnel got into him and things like that. My grandfather was awarded the Purple Heart. But when he, came back from war, tried, keep fighting, he wasn't the same. Was a little heavier, so he wasn't necessarily the lightweight. The title that he first was going up for when he was the #1 contender, that was like they were stripped, and he wasn't given that chance again. So then he went into the steel mills, where Youngstown is known for. Like that was
Ohio?
the thing. Oh, Youngstown, Ohio, exactly.
Very,
So then the steel mills was like that was your job. You go from high school to the steel mills. That's how they grew up. But then my father was, just different. From the age of 5 years old, he knew what he wanted to do. He had an older brother as well. That actually he would tell you, like, he's a better boxer, was slicker, nicer, but my dad was just more disciplined. He just knew what he wanted to do at 5. And so then, so I say that to say, my father's whole story was that he fought for his father. So he was like, I'm going to fight for the title for you. So he told us as we were growing, my brother and I, he's like, I fought so you don't have to. So he fought for, to win the title for his dad. And for us, it was a different opportunity growing up in Los Angeles. But he would tell us, I'm obviously going the long answer with your question, but he was like, God forbid you get in a fight, but if you do, you should know how. So then we started training. We knew he would start training us and putting our hands up at a young age.
Got it.
And then boxing is a great workout. So we were boxing at a young age. And
what's a young age?
I would say because I was very active with sports. So 8, 9 was very much just knowing how to throw proper punches.
Got it.
7th grade though, I was 13, I started training.
Did you start thinking you might want to pursue, or your brother, or did anyone?
Well, we were just more so in love with different sports. We loved football, basketball, soccer, baseball. And my father was like, you learn all the sports. I want you to play all the sports. Boxing was just more so like a workout. So it wasn't necessarily you need to be in the gym. It was more so if we needed to work out, he would, push us to work out. But if we needed to, if we were getting ready for football or basketball, he would incorporate boxing workouts. because of stamina.
Oh, I wish I did that as a kid.
Yeah, so he went. So we had like the heavy bag in the backyard, like in the back, like it was like a house, not like the back house. And so it was a heavy bag in the back house. But my father, I'll tell you, like I've never seen him go out without a week without working out. So he was always in the bag. He was always doing plyometrics. He was always just doing some type of workout, cardio, and we're seeing that as a little kid. Got it. So he never was like pressuring us pressuring us to fight and become a fighter. And also when he fought, he got into the acting Hollywood. So his thing was like, just there's a different opportunity out here for you guys, and boxing wasn't like what he didn't want us to do it, but if I wanted to, he had no choice. Sure. You know what I'm saying?
And your brother too, if he wanted to, also
exactly
same thing.
But my brother was a natural athlete. Like he was a beast in soccer, football. He was like the athlete. Okay. Unfortunately, he got injured in high school, which stopped.
What sport?
Football. But he was doing football, basketball. But yeah, he was the athlete, and I was more so like the Rugrat, where I was breakdancing and I would do like all types of stuff, cartwheel and do backflips and like dance, and like I was just like soaking in like all types of different things that was around me. Like going to Boys and Girls Club, I would play basketball. Then there was like a breakdance class that I was like interested. So it was all that. But
your parents were together growing up?
So for momentarily, and then second grade they got divorced. Okay. So I had like two households for a little bit. Still great parents. The love was still there always. So they would always both take me to my practices. My dad, I would be at basketball practice. My pops would just be jump roping on the side.
Stop.
I swear to God, dude. Yeah, he would be jump roping, and people are like, "How you do that?" And he's just,
I swear to God, I'd be doing the same.
Dude, yeah, he's just like jump roping because he was like there. Right. Like my pops was there. I was very fortunate. Like a lot of boxers in the '80s, especially, and a lot of boxers, period, they don't know to make a living after boxing. Mm-hmm. It's very hard.
Okay.
He even breaks down the percentages. I don't know, but it's like very like a 1% to make a living and to have a life after boxing.
He got into acting.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But his name, he made a lot. He was the first fighter in the lightweight division to bring $1 million to that lightweight division.
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah. So he was like the first guy as a lightweight, to bring $1 million for lightweights. Yeah. So
for a purse, that's amazing.
Exactly. And so he was, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. So I was very fortunate for that, and he was there. He was present in my life. And
what do you think you learned the most from your father, and just him being an elite athlete? Do you think like the work ethic? What has he passed on? What have you picked up from just the lifestyle?
Well, I think even besides like me, I look very much like my father too. Okay. So I got like his build. I got a lot of things from him. But from terms of what you're saying, definitely work ethic. Work ethic, if anything. Just kind of just keep at it. Just keep going. Just working hard, and one day your dreams will come true. He's a product of that. Yeah. Like since he was 5 years old, he was lightweight champion at 21. He knew what he wanted to do.
21 years old.
Yeah, so keep brick by brick, keep going at it. Just hard work every day. Nothing's earned. You gotta go get it.
Gotcha.
That was just saying. He was like, greatness is not gonna come to you. You gotta go get. Like if you want to be great, go after greatness. That was the thing. It's just like hard work and going after things. Try you just dream big, but going after that and working hard towards that dream.
And your mom was an educator?
Yes. My mom.
Teacher, K through 12? Or?
So my mom, Carmen Vasquez, the best mother in the world. She, Cuban woman, too. Wow. I gotta put that out there. She was a teacher from 6th to 8th. Middle school. Mm-hmm. And she was an ESL teacher. So she would teach. She would teach in English, but then she would teach in Spanish. Mm-hmm. And so then from that, but then she moved on to a charter school in LA, to the inner city, where she wanted to be principal. She wanted to start running, like, taking more control of schools. Yeah. And I would go with her to, like, when she was going through that process, to, like, Pepperdine and other classes.
Really cool.
And then she was from a teacher to a vice principal to principal, from a charter schools from a 9th and 10th grade, then 9th to 11th, then 9th and 12th. Built that school. Kids going to Ivy Leagues, going to UCs from her schools, from the inner city. And then she's now in the Board of Education for her charter program and stuff. So
that's amazing.
And she's an amazing hard worker. This
is Jay works.
No, this is amazing. This is what you said that really resonated with me, because both my sisters are educators.
Shout out to them.
And for your mother to same type of work ethic, same type of resilience and grit, same type of big vision, because you don't go from being a teacher, I'm just saying it's rare, to assistant principal, right, or vice principal to being on the board. That's huge.
No, man,
because you run your own company. When you are the principal, it's like working for Amazon. All those other teachers, if there's 80, 100, they all listen to your philosophy, principles, and mission for the school. So that's pretty cool. Man.
Yeah, man, she's amazing, and I plan on retiring her, but she's just like she instills that hard work in me as well, and she, obviously, like the name Ray Mancini, obviously a lot of people talk about my father and they talk about his legacy, but my mother's legacy is just as big as a part of me, and she's
comes
from Cuban immigrants. And
did she remarry?
She is.
Oh, okay.
They're both remarried. Okay. And so, but she's just hardworking, and she's just,
what's that pressure looking? What's that? You're from two. It's really rare. It's really rare where humans come from two high level performers, right? What's the pressure like growing up in a high performance environment where excellence seems like it's the standard in your household?
It's the only standard in my eyes for me personally.
Right.
Like they don't make diamonds without pressure. So I just, I feel like I come from greatness. That's the only thing I need to be is great.
Right.
I put a lot of pressure, even like with that was a lot of part with problem with basketball. Like I was my biggest critic, and I got a lot down on myself. But I think I still carry that on now in a different way, where it's like I gotta. There is no other choice. There is no other way of going.
Right.
There,
one option.
There is no being like, tranquilo, chill. No, it's got to. Great, it's greatness, or to me, it's nothing else.
And are your siblings? Are they? What are they doing now?
So my sister, she's a mother, and she takes care of. She does like nail tech. She does like beauty. I can't really necessarily pinpoint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My brother's also an actor. He's been working at it since he was 18. Like I said, he was an athlete. He got injured, unfortunately, where kind of ended his sports career, and so he dove into acting, and he's just been at it. He's been at it since he was 18. He's about 34 now. 34. So he's just been going at it, still working at it.
In LA?
In LA.
Yeah.
In LA.
So this guy was on reality TV.
Yeah, we know.
So tell me. So you've been on front of the camera too.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So like I was saying,
the college, right? You're now in the college time.
No, so the reality show was in high school.
Oh, I thought you were 18. Okay.
Got it. So even to go back a little bit before that, I think you kind of asked me about boxing, if I wanted to pursue fighting. I used to train at Bob Dylan's gym in Santa Monica.
What was the name of that gym?
18th Street, but it was a low-key gym.
Okay.
So I was in 7th grade, and I had one amateur bout. And
you have an amateur fight?
I had one amateur bout, which against my boy David Mujares, who we call him Junebug, but he signed to Golden Boy eventually. Unfortunately, had to retire early. But we trained at Bob Dylan's gym, which was a very exclusive gym.
You ever see Bob?
He watched me fight. He watched my.
Really? He was there?
The Bob Dylan? Are we talking about the Bob Dylan?
No, the Bob Dylan.
I know he had a boxing gym.
Yeah,
he is a huge boxing fan. Him and my dad are great friends.
He wrote the song.
Ruben Hurricane, the Hurricane. Yeah. Bob Dylan, he went to go visit Ruben Hurricane Carter in jail.
Okay.
He was at the Ali Frazier fight. Like Bob Dylan is a huge boxing fan.
Are you and your dad and Dylan tight?
Very.
Really?
Very, very.
So was he around when you were a kid?
It's like his favorite artist.
Well, so Bob, like,
I'm a big fan.
So
of
when
Huge
I
fan.
met Bob, I didn't know it was Bob Dylan. It was like a guy slumped on the bench.
He kind of looks like that.
Yeah,
right?
he was just kind of like slumped, and we didn't like know. And it was like, oh, my dad was like, oh, this is Bob. Hey, Bob, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And
I
but
don't want to be like this guy.
but then my dad was like, that's Bob Dylan, and of course I knew who Bob Dylan was.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, that was him. I was like, I didn't recognize him at all. And I used to train with his grandson is a good friend of mine.
Okay.
Levi Dylan. And
Is he a fighter? Bob Dylan's grandson? Is he a
no,
fighter?
he's actually like a musician model. So he's a separate. His son is Bob Dylan's son. Levi's dad was a artist.
Dylan's son, Julian Dylan, or what was the son's name? What's Dylan's son's name?
I don't know. He has a few kids, I think, but it's
Julian. He has one son that's actually has a pretty good songwriting career.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one, but we used to train all together, and so that was like my boxing. Fast forward to high school.
Okay.
And I was still boxing a little bit, but playing basketball. But I was given the opportunity about this YouTube reality show, and it was called At Summer Break.
And what year is this roughly?
So 2013. 2013. I was 17. I was on basketball. We had CIF. We won a championship that year. So
Pretty good team.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was on the bench because we had a good squad, but me and the coach we
Bumped heads?
clashed.
Okay.
Yeah. And so then, but as we were going for state championships, I got hit up by a recruiter saying like, "Hey, we're like reaching out to kids from LA about this new reality series, very different. It's all more social media based, and this is on the rise of like Instagram, YouTube, Vine."
Vine.
Yeah, remember? Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That's what I'm saying, right?
Man, great. Vine.
Vine,
Crazy.
and like all these different, these platforms, right? And so I was like, yeah, why not? So I reached out. I was like, yeah, let me see. Can I see a website to make sure it's legit? And they sent a website, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'm apply shit. So I remember being in basketball, like film study, and filling out this form. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, so I practiced and went to go do an interview.
Okay.
So I did an interview, and they liked me enough to be like, all right, come back for a second one. So I came back for a second one, and I was very bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, just kind of like just blabbing and shit. And sorry, can I cuss?
Yeah, you.
Okay, all right, cool.
Free.
But so they were just kind of like, I don't know, I was just yapping away, and they were kind of like on the fence. And then they were like, all right, come back for a third one. It was more on camera. And then I got on the show called Summer Break, which was like the first like YouTube reality series, but done professionally by professional people that worked on VH1, MTV, things like that. And then, that was 2013.
And what was the concept? They just follow you around, or?
So it was like kids from California showing the summer before they move on to the next step. Pretty much.
Okay.
It was like they
As
wanted to show.
seniors? As seniors?
So seniors so I was a junior going
Got
into
it,
my
yeah.
senior year. So I think the idea, I think the idea of bringing younger people like juniors as myself, they wanted to take them to the next season. You know what I'm saying? To show them the next, part of their stay next year. So my dad was against reality shows growing up. He was not messing with it.
Okay.
Because people like offered him, like people were throwing things at him about reality shows, things and that, and like our family, I would just say like our family was not boring. When we go out to eat, we was the loudest table there.
You guys could have been like the Kardashians.
It could, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? More weird. He was more so looking like people were more looking at like the Osbournes kind of vibe. So
The Hogans. No.
something like that, So we were, but my dad was like, nah, like he was against reality TV. But this was different because it was social media and it was in real time.
Okay.
So we would film something like, if we filmed this now, this will come out either like a Sunday or the next week.
Wow.
Well, in reality TV, you film the whole thing and then
Yeah.
they edit the hell out of it or whatever, right? And so I did it, and we were sponsored by AT&T. The first season we did 15 million views. Second season I was on season 2, so 2013, then 2014 we did 30. We doubled that, did 30 million views, and yeah, so that was like the.
They stopped it at season 2?
I did, but the show went on to season 5.
Did you get some followers out of it?
Yeah, I did.
What made you stop?
Well, I didn't. Dave, the one that didn't want me.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay,
yeah.
got
Dave,
it.
and I was already going to college.
You were the best part of the show, from what I
Right.
saw.
I was all right. I was
I saw you doing some training on it.
Yeah, so I did a little training. We went to Churchill. You know, it's so funny.
Churchill in West Hollywood.
No, Churchill in Santa Monica, which is now with Matchroom Boxing. So that's Peter Berg's gym.
Petersburg.
And Peter Berg used to own Wild Card West too. Yeah.
So Wild Card West turned into Churchill.
Oh, it turned into Churchill.
Yeah. And Peter Berg used to train. I used to train with Peter Berg's son at Bob Dylan's gym.
Oh,
so we kind of like all like
In a circle.
Yeah, exactly. And he loved my pops. Like he big fan. My dad's picture is like huge in the Churchill gym, and so we. I'm starting to lose my train of thought.
You say you're going to
we trained. We shot the show at the and when I trained with my dad, one of the guys from like Magic Mike was training at the time.
Magic Mike.
And but that gym, like young Canelo was going. There was like
What?
actors and like, that gym and now it's like professionals. Like you got Conor Ben going down. You got fighters from England coming down there.
Oh, this is elite.
No, this is an elite gym. Like David Benavidez.
This is one Ammo went to.
Oh, got
Remember?
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, they that's an elite gym, and that was like I would go there every so often. My brother still goes there.
What other gyms in LA did you go to?
Besides that one, I would go like I've been to the one in Fortune's
in West Hollywood.
Fortune's West Hollywood. I've been there. My boy would work out there. But mainly it was Wild Card West. Like I used to go Bob's gym for a while, and then I would go Wild Card West. And then once I went to Colorado, I kind of fell out of boxing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Studying on fashion.
This is in college, right, Ray?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like going into college, I'm sorry, I'm like jumping all over the place.
No, you're good.
But going into college, hoop dreams were done.
Okay.
Wasn't pursuing boxing like that. Wasn't in love with it. And I went to school for my mom. And then luckily they had fashion. So I was like, I'm interested in that. Mm-hmm. So I studied abroad, and then in Florence, Italy. And
I studied in Florence too.
yeah, amazing. I loved it. And like when I landed, they're like, Remy Mancini. I was like, I'm home. You know what I mean? Yeah. Wow. So it was great. And then so I kind of was like, all right, I think New York is like the next step for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
You finished school though.
I finished school.
Okay.
But even when I was in school a little bit, I was I was in a fraternity. Not a lot of people know that. I was in a fraternity called Kappa Sigma. And we would do like philanthropy events. One event was a boxing event. And because we saw like other universities doing it. So we did it, but we did it on a fucking trampoline in a park.
Wow.
And the belts were like a piece of cloth that somebody did in arts and crafts. And then they were like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we were doing that. And mind you, fucking boxing on a trampoline is one of the hardest. Dude, you would try to step and then your foot would go down.
Let me just explain something. In Colorado, they do a lot of that. That's how you come up with this idea.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with that.
I mean, like, even putting like ropes around and going on the grass would have been better. But like the trampoline, we're crazy. Bouncing, like trying to like lunge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was, I did that in college, and slowly was like, training back into boxing. But then I went to New York for a summer. I was a costume production assistant on a TV show called Sinners 2. Yeah.
Okay.
They just made a movie about it.
Yeah. That's what
No, not that. It was with Jennifer Biel. No, Jessica Biel.
I remember.
What's that show? It's The Sinner, right?
Yeah, I remember The Sinner or something.
The Sinner 2.
Okay.
Sorry,
I remember seeing the billboards around.
You
town.
did audition for this? Is
No. This one was more so on the fashion side.
No, he was in the costume department.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got
exactly.
it.
So
But you had an interview for this also, right?
Yeah, luckily my cousin was the head costume designer.
I got you.
You
no
gotta
worries.
use your resources.
I got you.
but it got me a foot in to kind of see what this New York lifestyle was about.
Okay.
And that's kind of like, I kind of looked at that as how my father, because my father went to New York when he was 18.
Okay.
And, had to,
Find a way.
really
Find a way.
Find a way.
Yeah.
And, really show that grittiness and stuff if you got it,
How'd you like New York compared to LA?
Oh, I love New York. I love New York.
How's it different than LA?
Well, LA, I say it like this. I would say, like, people would say, F you to their friends and then say like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I've been thinking about you. Wondering how you been. And then in New York, they would say F you in your face,
Okay.
but then say, have a good day, all right? Like, we got it done, and keep it pushing.
Yeah.
And then, but it's wrong, like, it's just more real and more gritty.
In
and
New
just
York.
In New York.
Got it.
Like in LA, you would weed out the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But being from there, you saw that from an early age. I saw that, when you went into the Hollywood scene or parties and stuff, like you start, people act a certain way, but you kind of saw it through because like, I know LA gets a bad rap for the stereotypes, like, the people act faked and things like that. But real genuine people from LA, down to earth people. And in New York, I just was like, it's just like, keep going. It's on the go. You know what I'm saying?
Hustle.
You gotta hustle and bustle. And so that's why I think I liked it more about for me.
Right.
And
You seem like an East Coast guy to me.
well, being young, I was very fortunate that my father showed me a lot. Like I would travel Miami and see my family here. But my dad, I went to Chicago. I would go to New York.
Was he fighting when you were a kid?
No.
He
My
was
dad
already
retired in '92.
Oh, wow.
Like his last fight against Greg Hogan was '92. I was born in '96.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that, and then so I just New York. I gravitate towards that energy.
Got it.
So being 2018 now, and being I'm 21, 22.
Working on big. Set. This is
Yeah.
big, man.
I'm dealing with professional people. I'm working with the HBO studio. And it was just like, we need to get this now. Like, and I just had to go get it. Like trims, garments, coffee, whatever it was. You know what I'm saying?
How many years did you stay there?
So I did that for a summer.
Summer. Okay.
So I went back to school, finished Colorado.
Went back. Okay.
And then, because it kind of messed me up on my credits over there. So I finished that, and then I graduated in 2018 December, went back to New York 2019. And so then I was in New York from 2019, did another show called The Plot Against America with Winona Ryder, John Turturro.
Wow.
And actually, it's funny because John Turturro and my dad did a movie together called The Search for One-Eyed Jimmy.
Okay.
And so I actually got to
One-Eyed Jimmy.
the cast of that is
Hold
crazy.
on. Is that a spinoff from The Goonies?
No.
Do you remember when I
think I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
But no,
Classic.
this one's different, and this one, the cast is crazy. I'm like, my dad, Nick Turturro, John Turturro, Steve Buscemi, Jennifer Beal, Holt McCallany.
Do you know about this movie? I don't know.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Wow.
Sam Rockwell.
Wow.
This was done on $100,000 budget. When now that cast is like $100 million. You know what I'm
Got
saying?
it.
But my dad's good friend, who's the one that wrote it and directed, I believe, is Sam Cass, who was a writer on Seinfeld.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
How many movies has your father?
21. My pops was in a good amount of films. Yeah, because my dad. So when he retired, the first time he retired was '84, and so then he got into. So my dad, after that, from '84 to '89, he retired because he
Okay.
fought Camacho in '89.
Yeah.
But he was, from then he started getting to acting. He was on Who's the Boss with Tony Danza. He did like
Classic
Iron
show.
Eagle. He did Iron Eagle 3. He did like some other film with like Ken Norton. I actually went to, me and Ken Norton III went to school together. His pops was the linebacker for the 49ers, and then Ken Norton Sr. was the heavyweight champ.
Wow.
So, I was around, what I'm
Yeah.
saying? LA, very small.
Wow.
So fast forward, so my dad was in a lot of films, so I was like, that's why like the sports and entertainment was always like very attractive to me growing up.
Got it.
So then now fast forward in New York, and so with John Turturro working on that show. So I worked on that show from like 2019 February to October of 2019, and then I just knew I just wanted to be more creative.
Okay.
I just was like, man, I like.
You didn't want to take orders. You didn't want to.
I was kind of just like, yeah, man. I was just, I don't know, man. It was like, because on the show you would get like people who come work for the day, like costumers or merchandisers or buyers that day. They would just come work for that day, and they would just tell me to do this, that, and that. I'm just like, I don't even know you, but obviously I have to do this because you're working for my boss, and my boss. I'm working for my boss too, but like my boss is also my cousin, so I had to kind of go a little harder.
Oh, so you followed him to the next show?
I followed her. Yeah.
Followed her.
Jernavis San Juan. She's a great costume designer, and so I wanted to get back to New York, and so she was like, I have another job. I was like, yeah, I'm down. But then I just knew I wanted to be more creative.
Okay.
But I always remember this one comment when I was working with her and I was going through the city, and I would meet different people and different places of grabbing trims and costumes. And my cousin said, hey, this is, my cousin. He wants to be a fashion designer. He wants to be in fashion. What do you have, like, any advice? She asked, like, this one woman in New York. And she goes, oh, you'll never make it. You're too nice. And I didn't really understand that. Because I was like, why is that such a bad thing? You know what I mean? Because obviously, like that wrong, like that toughness you need to have to be in the fashion world, especially in New York.
Devil wears Prada.
Exactly, right? And so, but I just kind of like took that as kind of like fuel because I was like, I'm going to do what I want, but I'm going to stay who I am at the same time. And so then after the show, I was like, man, I don't want to do another show. I want to be creative. I want to be someone who's, drawing and stuff like, And so then
pre-COVID too, huh?
Pre-COVID, this is 2019. Now we're going to like November. So then I knew somebody that knew somebody, and they worked at Sam Edelman, which is a women's shoe brand that's like competitors with Steve Madden.
Okay.
It's a big women's shoe brand.
Yeah.
Very affordable, very comfortable shoe. Women love it. Okay. And I got the guy, Sam Edelman himself. He interviewed me, and we were talking. And then wherever I'm talking about my resume, we're going. He goes, "Are you the son of the boxer?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay." So then he asked me another question. He's like, "All right, we'll try you out for a trial, like a month. Let's see how it does, and then we'll go from there." Okay. So then do the month. Then he hired me. They hired me that December of 2019. So I was a designer for Sam Edelman. I was the only male, but I was kind of like the guy. I was on like so they had two brands. Like Sam Edelman was like the older sister, and then there was like the sister brand was Circus, more fun, more younger. So I was more on that. Okay. But I was like, hey Ray, they were like more so like, hey Ray, can you take these shoes over there? Can you take these pictures down? Can you readjust the room? And that was like the first few months, and I was kind of like, when am I? They would let me draw things, they would let me sketch, and they liked some ideas, but it was more so like kind of pushed to the side a little bit. So then, fast forward, COVID, right? COVID hits March.
Good old COVID.
They fire me on my birthday, Sam Edelman.
Which is what?
March 26th, next week.
Up.
Big Aries.
Yep.
And so they fired me on my birthday. I remember they telling me like, "Oh, Ray, it was not nothing about your work, this and that." I was like, hey, it was inevitable. Obviously, times are different right now. Yeah. I just wish you hadn't done this on my birthday. Right. I told them on the phone. Okay. Like, today's your birthday? I'm like, yeah. And they go, "Oh, well, I'm like, hey, all I could do is laugh." Right. All I could do was laugh. Yeah. It was my Kobe year too. It was 24.
Come on, Kobe. Kobe lover. R.I.P.
R.I.P. But so yeah, so then I'm in New York, and then I'm like trying to just like battle it out, and then but at that time I was so right when COVID hit, I was in New York, and then I went to Ohio. I get fired from my job. Okay. Or I get what's the nice the
laid off.
Something like but they it was another word I forget, but yes, exactly.
Let go.
Something like that. And so then I'm in the crib, my dad's crib. I'm like, I'm chilling, And I'm like everybody else, like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
In L.A.?
In Ohio.
In Ohio.
I'm in Ohio now because
He moved back to Youngstown?
So after I graduated high school, he moved back, and him and his wife went back to Ohio because she's from Youngstown too.
Got it.
Him and Dave Chappelle both live there, right?
Yeah, Dave Chappelle lives in like a town that's like super like it's like small.
Okay.
It's different. But Youngstown, my pops loves Youngstown. Youngstown loves him, the people, and it's a very affordable place. So I'm in the crib. I'm surrounded by belts. I'm surrounded by accolades. I'm surrounded by memorabilia. I'm surrounded by the trunks, his gloves, magazines. My dad's a boxing historian. So there's like boxes of boxing magazines from like the 80s, 90s. And I'm just going through them and I'm like, man, I think there's something here. I don't know, but like I feel like I could do something with fashion and boxing. I don't know. But like, let me just try to test something out. Because I would make things in college. I would like design, like I would take my dad's photos and like I am nice at Photoshop and like Adobe. And I'll take some of the stuff, cartoonize it. I'll add like boom boom and like a certain font, lightweight. And I like made a tee of it. And I'm like thinking, man, I could go off something like this. So I created a hat. It just had the boom boom, but then I put his WBA belt. And then I put an 82, 84 lightweight. And so I created it. And I'm like, and so I was like, let me just start with this. And in Youngstown, Ohio, there is no like embroidery companies. So I went to the Lids to get this done. You know what I'm saying? And then luckily I was getting unemployment benefits. So I was able to fund it. And so little by little, I'm like, yeah. So I just started writing. I remember I'm in my bed. I was in New York at the time, but my mind was racing. And I just like live on the legacy. Wrote it down, closed it, kept it pushing, and then just kind of went off it. And then in Ohio, now I'm seeing inspiration. I'm seeing trunks. I'm seeing fabric. I'm seeing inspiration from magazines. I'm like, man, there's like something there. I feel it. I don't know what, but like, you know what I mean? And so yeah, I just like I kept just going after it. And so from 2020, I, was in Ohio making designs, doing things like that. Go back to New York and then just start going after it, like ordered fabric, started reaching out to like local manufacturers. With like, I remember I was literally going down the train with 70 yards of fabric, going down to the local manufacturer and I was like, oh, I want 70 t-shirts of this. And it was like a design. And then from there I started a collection. And then I made like these velvet velour trunk shorts.
Got it.
And from like, a little inspo from my dad. And so that's how I started from there. And then I just been kind of working on it. And I've been trying to get back, been working on getting my social media presence back up there because like I could have gone that YouTube route.
Yeah.
That was an option, especially after high school. That like the iron was hot, obviously after summer break. They even did bigger numbers on season 3. I was on one episode for that, and the most I hit like 108K followers, and I was like feeling good, And but I don't know. I got kind of like in college, people were joking around, but I just like I don't know. It was just like I gave a fuck what people thought.
Got it.
Because they were like, they didn't understand it because, it was a small town, but I gave a fuck what people thought. And I kept telling, people would say like, why are you here in Colorado? Why aren't you doing this? And I would joke and be like, oh, because I'm not relevant and stuff like that. But the brain doesn't know when you're joking and when you're not.
That's true.
And this is why I found out later on in therapy where like you're sending your brain signals and chemicals where it's just like, you're telling these things that they don't know if you're joking or not. And it's actually now these thoughts are transmuting in your brain and these chemicals are getting sent down and telling yourself, your brain's telling them like, yeah, you're not doing this. So just don't do it. Don't worry about it.
Who do you think is your...
But this is deep what he's saying. Like you're talking about self-deprecation.
Yeah. So I just like, that's why I just like, and there was a lot of like, I would talk to my dad. Like I was in New York. There was a thing called, there was like this company, this promotion company it literally was called Sons of Legends. Roberto Duran Jr. was on it. So like I think not Aaron Barkley, but it was like Hakeem. So,
Elijah one. I'm just kidding.
no, but it was like another fighter. But
Hasim?
yes. And his son was on it, and so I hit them up. I was like, "Yo, do you have to be a pro to like, you know?" And we had a conversation. They sent me a contract that wasn't sexy, but I was very intrigued. I was 26. I was like, man, and that time I was boxing. Like I was training. I was a boxing trainer. And in New York in Trinity Boxing Gym.
While you're building your brand?
While I'm building my brand. So I'm around the influence even more.
I love
Trinity
it.
and FiDi?
Yeah. No, well now it's not, well at that, it was on Bleak, it was on like right in Chelsea, but now it's in FiDi.
The long-haired guy.
Yeah, Marty.
And he's
Marty.
got his
From
gym.
Flatbush.
Yeah.
That's how you
That's
know,
good.
from Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's my
got
guy.
The spot in West Hollywood too.
That's,
On
both
Fairfax.
Trinities, the same Trinity.
Yeah.
Marty
yeah.
was
Do you know my buddy Graham Jones?
I don't.
Oh, he used to train there. And do you know Eddie Arizola?
That sounds familiar. I'm better with faces though, but that sounds familiar.
Eddie was at Trinity, and then I helped him get a gym on Melrose called Lobos.
I know. I heard Lobos. Yeah.
Yeah, I did the real estate deal on that.
Oh,
And
sick. Okay, hell yeah.
So Ray, who's your ideal customer?
My ideal customer, I mean, is somebody in their, you know, probably like 30s, about 20. I would say about 26 to 34. That is a lover of, you know.
Don't tell me I just aged out.
No. Well, I my range is bigger. But like I have my father wearing my stuff and he looks good. He's
Got it.
65. So it could go up to there.
Got it.
But I would say like around like more what the age I was saying in the urban cities, big cities, New York, LA, has a life, you know, not like just a lifestyle of things that
So someone that's athletic can wear your
athletic
brand also.
but someone who's
Just normal teacher
teacher
fireman.
in the entertainment industry. They love
Gotcha.
arts. Things like that. But you know, more so just my thing is like I want you to feel like a champion in my stuff in Live on Legacy. I want you to feel like you're wearing your family's legacy as you're wearing it. But my ideal, they make a nice income for themselves. They do well for themselves.
Got it.
They like the finer things of life, but they're not bougie.
Got
you know
it.
what I mean?
Got
I'm
it.
not like
Got
a
it.
designer. I'm not Gucci. I'm not Louis and stuff. Maybe you might see somebody in Palm Beach rocking it.
Okay.
And I say that to say because I grabbed you guys some things.
Oh.
So you guys are gonna be the ones rocking that
For sure.
in Palm Beach.
Serious?
So,
I think this is the first where we're getting a gift on the podcast.
Absolutely.
He told me, he said you were 6'5" and 220,
Yeah.
so I brought you double XL.
I'm an XL, but I'm gonna.
all
I
right,
appreciate
my
it still.
bad. All right,
Thank
all
you.
right.
He wears tight clothes.
Yeah,
so
no.
This will, all right. Well, they'll shrink a bit.
No worries.
So my apologies.
No,
I should've
no. I
asked.
appreciate. No, thank you for even providing something.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Time.
Well, yeah.
So,
We'll
what
take
is
a
the
picture
biggest
with
challenge you've had with finding a manufacturer or just a production partner?
So, mind you, I do all this by myself. Like, I've had a lot of help. Don't get me wrong. A lot of help from my family, my mother, my friends who helped me out. But with manufacturing, I've done a lot. I've done this by myself. I started locally in New York.
Okay.
It's very expensive.
Yeah.
And I would fund it on my own. And I wasn't like, I would sell shirts, but I wasn't making, I still haven't probably made the money I put in.
Okay.
Just being
That's fair.
completely transparent.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's fair.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it doesn't, Rome was built in a day. And so so finding manufacturers and finding vendors and finding partners that, I can trust, because my whole thing, my process, like, I want to see it, feel it. I want to see how it, like that. I love that process. The process of making clothes and the process of anything, I love.
Got it.
So I was doing it in New York, but then when I got the job opportunity down here, I moved to a local vendor in Miami. But there's not really a big urgency in Miami to get things done. I would bring things in on Monday. It's like, hey, can you get the sample done by Friday or maybe next Monday? Oh, yeah. Next Monday or the Friday comes. Oh, it's not ready. We need a little bit more time. Okay, whatever. Say it was supposed to be done that Friday. Okay, Monday. Obviously, they're not working on the weekend. Oh, it's still not done. The person didn't come in. So now I'm waiting till next Friday. I'm just like, dude, this is crazy.
He's an East Coast guy, this guy.
Well, living in New York,
For
you start
sure.
feeling, you get that.
I'm from East Coast, so I get it completely.
but-
Yeah,
No,
for
he's
sure.
the same way.
I'm the same way.
I'm the guy who gets.
He's
done
a
next
LA laid back.
I get that. I try to balance it. You know what I'm saying?
I got to work on it for sure.
But I remember talking to someone. They're like, if you want to start really getting like serious and becoming bigger with your brand, you need to go to these trade shows. So I went to a textile trade show that was in New York, and I met like the overseas vendors. So then that's when I started talking to them, and that's when I expanded my inventory. The cost was lower, things like that. So I started talking to them and started building partnerships through the overseas vendors like that.
And do
Go ahead.
because it's interesting. Are you using like Printify or Fulfill Right to hold your products, or where do you?
So I with like the website.
Yeah.
So I was using Wix, but now I use Shopify.
Got it.
But Printify, I actually just made a towel because you could like the thing with Printify, all you do is like you take your brand or your logo, whatever.
Yeah, right.
And they whatever catalog they have products, you could just boom right there.
Absolutely.
For me, I would have the vendors send me swatches of their fabric. I would go through swatches because I'm a big fabric guy. I love fabric.
Quality
I
control.
studied fabric in school, and for me, the fabric was I mean, it is everything. You can't like you can put the dopest logo, you can put the dopest design, but if you don't got that fabric, it don't mean shit. I'm sorry, because that shit is just gonna be a one-time wear and then you throw it out. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So even like a boxing glove, right? You need that boxing glove to really like form, and that leather to really form like anything, right? So I would ask them to send me their swatch book. They would send me swatches. I would be like, well, I love this. Do we have a lighter GSM? What type of, how can we dye this? You know, like certain things. And so I would, and I'm very specific, like this t-shirt, if this t-shirt con is different from my sweatshirt con, because that's a French terry, this is a lighter con, I need the colors to be the same. I like, even though they dye the same amount, they're going to come out differently because they're two different types of cottons, and so they absorb it differently. So I'm very much detail oriented in that, and I think with working for my cousin, she was very detailed with the costume production. So I learned a lot where like details really matter. People will see when the colors are off, or the stitching's off, or the print's off, and things like that. So then with the overseas vendors, I was very specific, because you have to be super specific. Especially if the language barrier isn't there.
Alibaba for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So I'm very specific with that. And so on the road of like finding vendors, you know, it's been, you know, here, US, overseas.
Okay.
But don't get me wrong, like there's a lot of, especially in LA, a lot of qualified vendors and a lot of great manufacturers out there that LA is probably the best in terms of manufacturing in the US.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that also.
I'm going to introduce you to someone after this.
Okay.
Do you offer private labeling?
I haven't, but I definitely should.
I'm just saying. I'm looking at your brand and stuff. So
Yeah.
So how do you build a community right now? I mean, because I think I've heard you say you're trying to get back into the social media.
So yeah. So like, I've had, because I've just been going off of ideas of mine.
Okay.
Right.
I can tell based off your IG.
Yeah.
You're a visionary.
So yeah. Well, appreciate that. I appreciate that. So like, for instance, like every collection, I just have a different idea. Like the round one, that was just like, you know, I had my dad as one of I had my dad as the photo on the back, and then on the t-shirt, and then I was just going off inspirations from trunks and things like that, and I was just kind of saying like, oh, this is my brand. It's boxing inspired. We're showing the art of boxing through fashion. Here it is.
Got it.
But that round one wasn't really like storytelling. It was just kind of showing products. The round two was, wasn't round two. It was more so it was a fall collection, fall winter collection, 2021. And I used Trinity as like the inspiration behind that, because the inspiration with the boxing pages that they will rip off and put all over the walls. The aesthetic was sick. So I was like trying to show that story of like that old grittiness and that like New York vibe, which then I designed like two guys that like had like their hand out with the boxing glove, but they had no heads. The heads were on the floor, and the whole idea was like, don't lose your head while you're in the process. So the whole thing was like lost heads and trying to show this like, my designs and have this idea. I thought that was going to go crazy. I thought they were going to, sell out. The fabric was like amazing. Didn't hit like I expected.
Right.
But that was okay. And then like I had 2 collections in 2021 that dropped, and then like I kind of was just 2022. I was like, all right, what's next? Because it's easy to start. Well, it's not easy, but it's much. Let's just say it is easy, right? It's easy to start, but it's much harder to keep going.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Much harder.
Much harder. Like my father always said, like it's getting to be a champion is very hard, but to stay a champion is extremely hard. So that road of just starting was I was conflicted with myself as an artist because I didn't really, was I considering myself an artist? Like, no, I am an artist. Even though I haven't put this out yet, you have to tell yourself, I'm telling myself like, yes, I am an artist. I am doing this.
You're building that identity.
I had too much money already in there to even pull back out. So
were you working too?
No, I was getting unemployment benefits. I was funding everything on my own.
Got it.
So I was very fortunate on that part. Okay. And so I was just, I also let my hair grow and shit down to my shoulders. I was really getting the artistry, you know what I mean? And so I was just like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm going for it. I am an artist. I am a creative, and I'm doing it. And so then, I started doing it, but then that second collection didn't hit like I wanted to. So then I was like, all right, let's do round 2 now. Let's do a different vibe. Let's do more. Hope someone's okay. Yeah. So then round 2 was more so like white, black tees, gray sweaters, black sweaters. I did it more like this is Live on Legacy. It's big and bold. So I did Live on the Legacy from the inspiration of like Everlast. But I was like, Live on Legacy is big and bold, and we're, I'm here. Like, I'm gonna be in your face, and that's what that boxing. I'm in your face. I'm pressured. I'm like, that was like that inspiration behind that collection, and they did well. I did. I used like the fabric I used for like all other like the collection in my round 1. I used some old fabric that was laying around. I was like, you know what? I don't want really the inventory laying around. I don't want fabric laying around. I just want to use everything I have.
This is 2022.
This is 2022 now.
Wow.
And so, but 2022 was very much like but that was like in later 2022. The start of 2022 was me trying to still push out the fall collection that I just dropped. I was just pushing like beanies, all this stuff. And then like.
And which marketing channel were you using?
So like Facebook, Instagram, that was the thing though too. Okay. Like I was trying to be every hat, but marketing was just not my strong suit.
Which one has yielded the best return on investment?
Probably Instagram, just like probably Instagram
for sure.
Because also natural.
Organic or inorganic?
Like, organic. Well, when I first dropped it, it was like all just me posting my stuff on Instagram. I started my page. I'll just organically, because I still had a good following too, and I still do. Don't get me wrong, but it was
your videos do well.
Yeah, but it just it wasn't hitting like how I guess marketing inorganically and.
I'm sorry. Go. Keep it up. Jay, just go to the rapid fire questions next.
Okay, got it.
We're running out of battery here. I'm looking.
Oh shit! Okay. I'm sorry.
No worry. But I do. So you're doing this full time.
Doing full time. So what is 2022? Fast forward now, still going.
And what does a typical day look like for you?
Wake up, coffee, take my dog out, get on. Make new videos. I was currently working on a video on the way up here. Make new content.
To advertise the brand.
Yes, because now I'm not rebranding. I'm reintroducing the brand because 1,600 followers is cool, but there's thousands and millions of people that don't know the brand. So just pushing out new content, using like I had rapper Tekashi 69 rock my stuff. So I was marketing that and trying to like use just different marketing tools.
I saw him at the Jake Paul fight at the Anthony.
Okay,
Joshua.
yeah. So before he went to jail, he was rocking my sweater.
Wow.
How do you find out about that?
I'm in a store called 305 Kicks, and so he went to that store and he was like, I need to go shopping before I go to jail, and he picked up my shit.
But you had to sell them. I know you did.
No, I didn't know.
He just saw the brand.
I literally in bed, and I see him. I see a video by 305 Kicks, and it's him, and he's rocking my shit. I'm like, oh shit!
This is amazing, right?
like, yeah.
How'd you get your?
So I met a woman who is partners of the 305 Kick store. We had a good convo. I said, "Hey, I'm a small brand, small business. I'm a designer. I think my stuff will look great in your store."
Wow.
And we had a conversation. I brought some stuff, and I brought different sizes, women's for men's, and both colors. I was just like, here's everything. See how it does. Trial run, and this dude rocked my shit, and I was like,
Did you see the sales go up at all? Or?
No,
Because that's what people say. You know, they say.
I
I don't know if that's true. That's what I'm asking.
It's more so. I didn't see any sales from it. I just saw more attraction to the like brand, but no sales. Like I obviously that's the goal. Though.
That's the
like
goal, yeah.
you want the exposure, but you want the bread at the end of the day.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want the skadol.
Last question before we go to the rapid fires. When in the definition of success for your brand, is it more online for you, or is it in person, or is it in the store? Which one generates, I guess, the most consistent revenue? Online?
Well, online obviously because I've been online the longest. But in person because I've done pop-ups.
That's what you. I was wondering.
So the in-store is actually, this is the first store I've been in, but I do more pop-ups where I have a table set up and everything, and I was doing it in different places: LA, New York, Ohio, Miami. And then people start feeling it and seeing it. They're like, "Oh, this is really
like at
stuff.
a flea market.
Mm-hmm.
Or, yeah.
Like I was in like Magic City flea here, or I'll be in the Fairfax flea down in LA, and
I used to hang out there.
yeah, man. So I do well in person because
I can tell.
You know what I'm saying?
You're sellable, man. That's why.
I'm trying, man. I try to be a salesman, and but I try to be like I'm a creative director, like you were saying, like just try and push not only me because I am the brand is me, so I'm just trying to push myself, the brand out, but I tell people, man, this is I don't just talk it, I walk it, like this is real good stuff.
And do you try to do at least once a month, or?
Yeah, I try to, man, but it's it's different, like the crowds too, that you also have to, because I've done markets and I've made $0.
Wow.
And so I've lost money because you have to pay for the setup and pay for the but so maybe that wasn't my crowd.
Yeah.
So I've done, and then I did the Italian Bowl, like for football. They went to Toledo, Ohio, and they did the championship for the Italian Bowl there. And I made some hats that were Italian Bowl hats, and I sold out of those, and then I did well with my brand. I did like 1,600 that brand. So it just really depends.
Got it. So Ray, we're gonna do some rapid fire questions. You can only select one option, one answer.
Oh, so it's
Only
like
one.
an A, B.
Yeah.
Okay.
One answer.
All right.
Bape or Supreme?
Supreme.
Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram.
Louis Vuitton or Versace?
Louis.
Ooh. Anti-social club or Fear of God?
Fear of God.
You didn't think about
That's one of my favorite brands.
He's good. Kanye or Virgil?
Can I rebuttal with a question? And what's designer?
Absolutely.
Oh, Virgil.
Ooh.
Yeah. Virgil's
Louis, this guy.
well, Virgil.
The Off-White. He started the Off-White.
Yes, but Virgil, it was like, obviously Kanye is a genius in his own right in the music and obviously just creative, period. But Virgil was a pioneer in how he just he made everyone, like how he broke down things, and just like his just the quotes behind the words. All you did was quotes, and that just it
Went
transcended
viral, too. It
things.
was- yeah.
The whole like just taking something, breaking it apart, and dissecting something and making it like beautiful. Rest in peace, Virgil. I loved Virgil. I like Virgil, John Elliott, Jerry Lorenzo. Those are some of my favorite designers. Murakami. But Virgil is great.
Coco Chanel or Christian Dior?
I'll go with Dior.
Ralph Lauren or Gucci?
Ralph Lauren.
My man.
Ralph Lauren.
Nike.
That dude changed. I just watched a video last night. He said, "I'm not a designer. I don't design clothes. I design life."
Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
New York or London?
Ooh,
That's a good one.
that's a good one.
That's a shout out to my London tings.
He's a
I'm gonna
Drake
go
fan.
with New York though.
Givenchy or Balenciaga?
I'll go with Givenchy. Givenchy. Yeah, Givenchy. Yeah.
Okay.
Givenchy.
Paris or Milan?
Milan.
He didn't,
Italiano.
It's Italian.
didn't even think about it. Do you think you're famous?
No.
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 Okay. What's your definition of being famous?
Being known for a specific thing, or being known for something you've done, or doing, or who you are. Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Well, this question is great for you. What would you like your legacy to be remembered as?
That's the perfect question.
You got me. My legacy, man, just being a great son, a good brother, a great friend, someone who was loving, kind, and who inspired people. That's one thing I want to leave, is just being to inspire the next generation after me, and just being an inspiration to just keep carrying on the legacy that I'm trying to build, but just being an inspiration for some kid or my son or my daughter to want to be something great as well.
Okay. In acting, fashion, which one is? I heard you
Trying to do both, man.
trying to do both.
I mean, look at Kanye. Kanye did fashion, he did music, but Tom Ford, he also directs movies. I feel like I could do both too.
What kind of movies do you like?
Man, I mean, I go from like Superbad to Godfather, Bronx Tale. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love like action. I love romance. I love comedy, but it's just like I just would love to be like a Bronx Tale would be like something I would love to be in,
Kinda
or
like
like
your story?
yeah, like a Hangover would be sick too.
So, I think we're gonna wrap it up in a minute.
Cool.
Well, before we go, Ray, let everyone know your socials, where they can buy, of course, the merch from, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Personal is at its Ray Mancini, at its Ray Mancini. The clothing brand at Live on the Legacy. YouTube at Ray Mancini Jr. TikTok at Ray Ma. And yeah, but you could go to www.liveonthelegacy.com to buy Live on the Legacy there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, man.
It's episode 38.
Thank you
We're
guys
not
for having
famous.
me.
Thank you
Thanks
for coming on.
Ray.
Yeah, thank you guys. Been a pleasure.
Yes, sir.